So for this video, guys, we're looking at PAY corner, kind of show you one of my favorite high-lows when it comes to this play. And it's really utilizing this A route, which is a really nice route as well. We're going to block our running back. We're going to put the Y on a drag. Okay, so this looks great like this. However, we want the Y to get a little bit closer to the right, so that way when we want to get him to get in the zone of the hard flat, cloud flat quicker. The way we do that is we motion him to the left. By motioning him to the left, see how he actually goes right and it brings the X closer? That's exactly what we want to do. When we're facing hard flats, what you're going to notice is that they're going to take the Y underneath. A is going to get wide open, right? You're basically looking for that A to get open. If the A looks like he's covered, you're going to want to dump it down to the Y. And in an instant like that, it's going to be cloud flats, right? So here's your cloud flats. We're going to move this guy over, block the RB. Actually, that's not what we're doing yet. Move this guy over here. That's the second part of this video, and I kind of jumped the gun. You want to move this guy to the left, and you're going to basically run it this way, right? So basically, here it is with cloud flats. You're going to look at the A. Is the A open? No. Let's throw it to the Y, get ourselves some yards, and get the ability to kind of get your 5 to 6 and whatever you can get after that, right? So that's what that is. Now, if they are getting a little aggressive, say they're playing hard flats, and they're covering the tight end, right? Well, that's going to be something that we want to make sure that the reason why we like this the way it is, when we motion this Y to the left, the X comes closer and he actually backs up. So he gets off the line of scrimmage. That's going to really help us with this timing of this route because he's going to be actually a little bit lesser of a route, but it definitely gives you the ability to where if they go to the right side of the field, just hit this guy on its brick. Right? It's just one of those routes that is really going to give you that quick ability that I actually look at this a lot more than you would think. I'm almost reading this as A, then X, rather than the Y, but you definitely want to make sure that you have that Y in your mind. Now, if you're going against cover 2, what you should expect is the same difference with cloud flats, which is going to be dumping it to the Y, just because of the fact that it's going to be a lot easier to read if you look to the right side of the field. A goes up the field. You see that the guy's over there. All right, you're going to be able to throw it to him and get yourself the easy yards, right? So that's typically how I'm running that. Now, the second part to give a different look is by moving this player over. I kind of jumped the gun earlier when I showed you that. But what that does really is it gives you the opportunity to do the high-low with the A, but also have the X. When you move that over, the X is actually down the line of scrimmage, right? It's a little bit different of a ordeal. Hard flats, you're going to see that you're going to be able to throw it to this A right over there. Now, if they go ahead and cover that player across the field on a hard flat situation, I want to make sure that you see this is what we're looking at. And God honest truth, that guy is definitely going to be covered more often than not when it comes to this because he's going into the user's face. And that's why I'm really looking at this X receiver. So if this guy comes across, user's like, oh, I got to cover him. Now we're going to that player, right? So it's kind of the 1-2 read, makes it really easy for you. You can run it either way. They're both going to have success for you. Typically speaking, when I want to hit the X receiver, I'm going to move this player over. I feel like it's just a little bit more of a bait. This is one of those things, right? That now, say they're using it with the A as the user, you're going to see you're going to have to wait a little bit longer on it, right? The reason why is because that hook curl is going to stay. We're waiting for this guy to come across. Then we're going to have to throw it, right? So that is something that you want to look at and say, which player are they using? And typically speaking, if they're using the left player, I'm going to go to this setup because I want the left player out of there. I want the user to follow the tight end to the right and giving me the more spot. If they're using the player on the right, then you're going to know that that hook curl should still be there. And you're going to have to wait a little longer, which is going to give you a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe get a block shed against you. That's why I want to make sure that you understand what you're trying to do when it comes to attacking the user with your setups and knowing when to use when, depending on their tendencies.